Can the so-called media be more fucking obvious? They want Biden out of there because they know Joe Biden can easily beat Donald Trump. They know that. So Biden, they take his history or his tendency to stammer and stutter and talk too fast before his brain catches up and make gaffes. They're taking all that and saying he's senile. But not a goddamn word about Donald Trump's horrific performance in that damn debate last week. Now, we understand it came out that Biden had a cold and he was taking medication, and he got better as the night wore on. And remember, he had just come back from Europe. This so-called senile guy was out running around in Europe negotiating with or talking with other leaders of other countries. So he apparently also had jet lag. But no, he's a Democrat. Believe me, if this were a Republican, they wouldn't do this. But because he's a Democrat, they're trying to push him out. Now you've got a handful of Democrats like that stupid Lloyd Doggett trying to say that, oh, Joe should step down. I hope the fuck that doesn't happen. Because if he steps down, unless there is an issue like with aneurysms that Biden did have when he was in his 40s, if there's issues like that are legitimate issues that would make it, make it a rational decision to step down, that I can see. That I can support. But other than that, and it would be his decision. Other than that, this is bullshit. Okay? And I'm not allowing any comments after my video because I'll be goddamned if I'm going to read any so-called people, liberals or Democrats or whatever, calling him senile. I'm just going to fucking block you. So I would fucking block you if I did allow comments. So I'm not going to allow comments on this video. But anyway, I lost my train of thought here. But unless it's his decision, fuck that crap. Fuck that damn crap. And nothing is being said about Donald Trump. Very little. But, by the way, the transcript, which undoubtedly Seth Abramson is using for his box score, because how could you possibly note 602 lies in 40 minutes unless you have the transcript? But apparently on the transcript, Biden came across way better than he did on the stage. So anyway, they're still doing this because, let me tell you, they're harping on it now. You got Keith Olbermann losing his shit over it and crap like that. The reason they're doing it is as a diversion. It is a diversion from what the U.S. Supreme Court did on Monday, which basically potentially made Trump a king. Everybody should be fucking worried about that. Everybody should be fucking worried about Trump suggesting a military tribunal for Liz Cheney. You think it's going to be okay if he gets in there? Are you out of your head? Are you fucking out of your head? But anyway, not a word about getting rid of Trump. Not a word. And virtually every word that came out of his mouth on Thursday was a lie. It was one in, 3.9 seconds? One lie? So in this very long Substack, Seth Abramson talks about the poll numbers and all this. And it said, yes, the worst debate performance in American history. Proof has already cataloged some of Mr. Trump's most egregious lies at Thursday's debate in Atlanta. From saying the pandemic ended in January 2021 to insisting every American wanted Roe v. Wade overturned. From endorsing the neo-Nazi Great Replacement theory to bizarrely accusing President Biden of starting the war in Ukraine, from using the word Palestinian as a slur to accidentally admitting that Vladimir Putin secretly revealed his plan to invade Europe to Trump before the invasion occurred. So the purpose of this report isn't to analyze the tsunami of deceit Trump unleashed on voters in Atlanta via anecdote, but rather via big data. So this is what he went and talked, and I'll read just a few of these. But he documents every single thing. Okay, this is what he said, the Trump monologues. This is a partial list. Remember, there's 602. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country under my administration. We had never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with COVID, and we did. We spent money necessary, so we wouldn't end up in a Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and no wars, and so many other things. Everything was rocking good. That's 8 lies right off the gate, out of the gate. But the thing we never got credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates. That was a disaster for our country. But other than that, we had given them back. And remember, the red is the lie. A country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought, well, actually, 11, that's a lie, that was even possible. The only jobs he created were for illegal immigrants. And bounce back jobs, they've bounced back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job. And inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us. And then the second monologue. Tariffs are not going to drive them, consumer prices, higher. It's just going to cause countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others, in all fairness to China, it's just going to force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is, I give you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down, and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also inherited 9%. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. No, he inherited almost no inflation. And it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing. And they didn't know what they were doing. And it was the worst, probably the worst administration in history. There's never been. As far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan. But we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life. And then we'll do one more monologue. That's already 31 lies. Taxes for the wealthy should go down because of the 2018 tax cuts spurred the greatest economy we've ever seen, just prior to COVID. And even after COVID, it was so strong that we were able to get through COVID much better than just about any other country. But we spurred, that tax spurred. And now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was down 21% from 39%. Plus, beyond that, we took in more revenue with much less tax, and companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country. The country was going like never before, and we were ready to start paying down the debt. We were ready to start using the liquid gold right under our feet, the oil and gas right under our feet. We were going to have something that nobody else has had. We got hit with COVID. We did a lot to fix it. I gave him unbelievable, oh shit. Oh Christ. A situation with all the therapeutics and all the things that we came up with. We gave him something great. Remember, more people died under his administration, even though we had largely fixed it, by January 20th, 2021. More people died under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it. Something which a lot of people don't like to talk about, but he had far more people dying in his administration. He did the mandate. which was a disaster, mandating it, the vaccine that went out. He did that mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job. And I will tell you, not only poor there, but throughout the entire world. We're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation. Between weaponizing his election, trying to go after his political opponent, talk about projection, all the things he's done, we've become like a third world nation. And it's a shame the damage he's done to our country. And I'd like to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions to come into our country and destroy our country. That is 60 lies right there that he told. Yet the media have barely even touched on that. So it's obvious the corporate ownership that's promoted this madman for all these years, they want him in there. And they know they have to. And it doesn't matter if the cost is American democracy, because a lot of them, like Koch and that Peter Thiel and other people with too much goddamn money, and probably Elon Musk, they don't believe in our political system. They want to act like they're an aristocracy and they're not accountable to anybody. This is what this is about, folks. So if somehow Biden steps down, we're fucked. Because Kamala Harris cannot win. That's another reason they want him out. Is because they figure, the GOP, plus the corporate media, the billionaire class, they figure Kamala Harris is a lot easier to beat. You can look at the Daily Mail and see all the GOP talking points, especially about California. There's supposed to be all these needles in the streets and syringes in the streets and all these homeless people and feces all over the damn place. And they're dirty, they're filthy. They would hang that on Kamala Harris, even though Kamala Harris has nothing to do with that. And the fact that we have an electoral college. And the electoral college is what prevented Hillary Clinton from being inaugurated president in 2017, even though she had more votes in the popular vote. A woman can't get, in other words, short to say it in the shortest manner possible, a woman cannot get elected president in the United States as long as there's an electoral college. But they want her, see. They figure she's a lot easier to beat. And so we've got to drum Biden out. We've got to get him out. We've got to raise every little stammer he does, every little thing he makes, mistake he makes, every little thing. They're going to amplify it because they want him out. But believe me, this will not work for Democrats' chances and democracy's chances. Because if you force a candidate out, or you run, like in 1980, had Ted Kennedy running against, who had no chance in hell, against Carter, they never recovered. Democrats never recovered from that year. And then, of course, it was the October surprise. That was the coup de grace. So, anyway, that's my rant about the current situation here. So far as I know, Biden is not going to step down. But the media are trying like hell to get him out. And we're fucked as a country if that happens. We are absolutely fucked. So don't think for a goddamn minute that we're not fucked. So think about it. That's it.